Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH BaShem RICANS. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us the truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Shalom to the Achiam and Akhwat out there who may or may not be teaching us the truth, but are diligently waiting for us to be delivered. Today's topic, I'm going to be talking about the spirit of a bitter Eve. Now, it's no secret that a lot of Jakes have trouble with some Eves, and a lot of times you hear that oh uh I I don't need a man, or I can take care of myself. I'm an independent black woman and all that stuff like that. You know, they made that the butt of the joke and what they make that a joke and stuff like that. And you know, I was just reading the book of Second Samuel, and this really like defines that, I guess. But or not really defines, but it's a great example, and I want to share. So first, we're basically be reading not the whole thing, but pieces of Second Samuel chapter 6, and I'll break it down. First, I want to get the context. So, firstly, uh, Second Samuel chapter 6, from verse 2. And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baali of Judah to bring up from thence the ark of Yahweh, whose name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts that dwelleth between the cherubims. Jump down to verse 5. I just want to make this a quick video. And David and all that. Okay, so let's talk about it. In verse 2. The ark of God. That's the main thing. That's the main thing that we're going to be focusing on today. For the context, verse 5. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Most High on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps and on psalteries and on timbrels and on cornets and on cymbals. So right now, David and other Israelites are playing instruments, playing music, um, in a sort of worship to the Most High Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai. Verse 6. And when they came to Narchon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand on the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. Verse 7. And the anger of the Most High was kindled against Uzzah, and Yahweh smote him there for his error, and there he died by the ark of Yahweh. So right there, Uzzah, this Israelite, Uzzah, he did something he shouldn't have. He touched the ark of God, and when he wasn't supposed to, and that angered the Most High, and he died, and Uzzah died for it. You know, um, he, the it doesn't give too much detail on, you know, where he should have been, where he was, or how he even got close enough to touch it. But basically, it just shouldn't have been there. He was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, verse 9. And David was afraid of the Most High that day, and said, how shall the ark of the Most High come to me? So, now, here is where I'm going to give a little more detail into the context. So David is basically, he's afraid because because Uzzah put the Most High in a bad mood. David is trying to, appease and try to you know, make up for what Uzzah did. And, you know, that's not this translates into not only, you know, trying to appease the Most High, but like Jake in general having to deal with some random stuff. Like a lot of times, like, oh, there's our boss is giving us trouble, someone out on the street maybe giving us trouble, and then, you know, we have to deal with it, and we're trying our best to deal with it, you know, to keep the peace. And you know, that's it on that. So I'm going to jump down to verse 14. That's it on that context. Well, no, there's a little more. Verse 14. And David danced before the Most High with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. So, because the Most High is angry, uh, David is King David is he's the king, he's the king of Israel. He's trying to appease the Most High's anger. He's trying to do whatever he can in order to please the Most High. And basically, what he did was he basically is dancing naked, not naked, but for the most part uncovered. Surprises is pretty dark skinned for that, but he's dancing almost fully naked in order to appease the Most High. Just like how you would have to do something you wouldn't want to do, you know, in our current time, in order to, you know, make peace with our boss, you know, make peace with someone giving trouble, the police, you know, how you just have to let someone not only let someone disrespect you, but like humble yourself down to a certain point for the sake of the other person that you're dealing with. And that's basically what he was doing at this point of in time. So let's continue on. Verse 16. And as the ark of the Most High came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Most High, and she despised him in her heart. So basically, as David is trying to appease the Most High's anger, and Michal, Saul's daughter, is just comes after, you know, Uzzah is dead, after David's trying to, you know, calm, quell the Most High's anger. She sees him in the middle of it, and she is basically looking down on him. That's basically what it is. Because you know how you know, Eve, she will look down on you if you're not doing everything how she wants you to do. Like it's not even just Eve, it's women in general. If you aren't basically perfect in their eyes, they're going to look for any string, any thread they can and pull on that string to pull you down and drag you and your name through the dirt to make you look bad. And that's basically what she did. So King David, the great King David, is dancing damn near butt naked, and she sees that. Is that how a king's supposed to be acting? That's basically what went through her mind, but she didn't know the context of it. So, or maybe she did. Maybe she did. So jump down to verse 20. Then David returned to bless his household. Hold on, yeah, there. Okay, verse 20. Then David returned to bless his household. And Michal, the David of Saul, came out to meet David and said, how glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovered himself. So now this basically, uh, if we want to go in a modern translation on it, let me try to modernly translate this. So basically, she said, "Oh," she sees King David, so she's like, "Oh, King David, I thought it was wonderful when I saw you uh dancing around half naked in front of the handmaids of your servants. It was so shameless of you to do that." Like in that type of passive aggressive tone. That's basically how it went down. And then because that, like I said, she's pulling on strings in order to she's pulling on a string on a thread in order to drag his name to the mud. And that's basically what she did. Uh, he did that. He did that. No one was talking about it, but she wanted to bring it out up and talk about it. She wanted to talk about it and basically trash talk David. And David said unto Michal, "It was before the Most High, which chose me before thy father and before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of the Most High, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Most High." So now, this is let's do a modern translation of it. The modern translation is, okay, okay. Here's what actually happened. Uh, I was doing this for the Most High. That's that's number one, because He chose me before your father and before His house. So I did it for the Most High. I did it for the Most High over your father, because your father, because Saul was anointed previously, but it didn't work out with Saul, so it fell on to David. And the Most High appointed me ruler over the people, over his people, over Israel. And if you got a problem with that, that's whatever, because I'm doing it for the Most High. I don't care. I could care less if you have something to say about me uh dancing around about how you perceive what I did. I don't care about all that. I only care about what I gotta do as the Most High's anointed. And then, "And I will yet be more vile than thus, and will be base in mine own sight, and of the maidservant which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor." Therefore Michal the daughter of Saul had no child unto the day of her death. So basically, because she disrespected King David, uh, she she was given that spirit. She had that spirit of that bitter Eve, and because of that, she the Most High made it so that she would not have any kids. So basically, she would be single for the rest of her life, and that's basically how a lot of Eves today are. If they're giving Jake a lot of trouble, if they're giving Jake a lot of problem, then they're just gonna be single the whole time. And like they want to act like, oh, I don't need a man, so then they're just not gonna get a man. Like that's the end of it. That's the end of their life. And if if there was nothing wrong with what she was saying, the Most High would have looked after her, but He didn't, because she was clearly in the wrong. She just out of nowhere wanted to disrespect because she hated him. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 21. "There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief." I mean, she wanted to start some mischief. And if she if she was just in what she was saying, she was just in pointing that out, the Most High wouldn't have allowed her to, go child childless like that. So I mean, yeah, it's just a simple fact of like she just shouldn't have been trying to start some start something like that. Hope this video was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. And with that, I want to say Shalom.